Here's a quick video. It's a dynamic mic, and I'm reviewing it because it was sent to me and I said I would. And the price. Oh man, the price indeed. The Fifine K669D. I'll be honest, it's not a lot of nerdy stuff, but it's still coming right up. So, good day and welcome to the Time Preservation Society. I'm Optimus Prime. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell notification so you can be notified the minute new content drops. Cheers. So I said in the opening bit, Fifine sent this mic to me. Now, in their email, they said the company's name is pronounced Fifine, which seems a bit weird because there's only one N. But that's what they said, so fine. Fine, it is. This is a wicked cheap mic, so this should be good. I'm going to try to keep this video short and sweet. Whenever I say that, I never succeed. This time I aim to. Because Fifine asked me specifically to test out this mic and a condenser version of it, like a sister mic or brother mic, and to review both of these mics together in a podcast style. There was some complications with shipping, and the condenser version arrived damaged. They are sending me the condenser version again, so I'm going to review that one separately when it arrives, hence the short video, because they're meant to be both together. Fifine asked me to review it using the Zoom H5, which is precisely what I'm doing. You're listening to this going right into the H5 right now. That's it. That's the sound of it. Super cheap setup. They'd like to really push the idea that this mic is a great option for podcasts and that it can be very portable. I agree with them. So that's precisely what I'm going to do. No music today, guys. Sorry about that. It's podcast style today. Only talky. You're listening to me talking on the Fifine K669D. I keep wanting to say K669. Is it K669 now? It wouldn't be K669D. Yeah, that sounds a little bit better. K669D. Anyway, the D stands for dynamic, so no phantom power needed. A dynamic mic is the best choice for unfavorable environments, such as a reverberant room or a noisy place. They tend to pick up what's right in front of them and not so much the room and the reflections and all that. I've got to say, it's actually not terrible. Not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. It sounds decent. It's got a much hotter output than the Shure SM7B or even the SM57, so it's got that going for it. Oh, I almost forgot to say a little bit about Fifine while you listen to this mic on my voice box. They're a Chinese company, and they first started in 2009, which was Terminator Salvation and Sherlock Holmes ago. They've since been rocking the Amazon, Walmart, and Alibaba stores and pulling in millions of dollars in sales, which is no small feat, since these mics are cheaper than a couple of McDonald's value meals, and you just crap that out anyway with nothing to show for it. Only poop. At least with these mics, you've got something to pass on to your dog. So what does it look like up close? It looks like a very small dynamic microphone. It's got the Fifine logo on the side. It has an XLR connector port, so you'll need not only an XLR cable, but also a recorder or interface with which to record on. The grill is solid, no give. It's end address, so point the end at your beard canvas, your face. It does come with a little mic stand, but it is such a hunk of useless crap that I consider it a waste of metal. They were honestly better just including the mic only. This might kind of work if you're like 7 years old and your chin hovers only inches above your desktop.
Can I go to the bathroom?
You generally want to go closer to the dynamic mic as opposed to further away from it. The mic is actually quite heavy and built like a tank. It really feels like it's worth money. It's not, but it feels that way. It measures... Oh, hold on a sec here. Let me just find my trusty old measuring tape. You know, this measuring tape was handmade by a grumpy guy called the Mariner in the year 2500 when the Earth was totally covered in water. I picked it up in Hawaii back in '95. Anyway, it measures about 5.5 inches long and just under 2 inches in diameter. Let's test it against some dynamics that I have laying around here. Here's the Shure SM57. This is me talking on the Shure SM57, a $100 world-famous dynamic microphone. And this is the sound of this microphone. Now, I had to crank up the gain. I had to crank up to almost 7, so you're hearing the preamp hiss because the H5 has noisy preamps. But this is the sound of the 57. Okay, let's go back to the K669D. And here's me back talking on the Fifine K669D to cleanse your palate, reset your earhole parameters. Okay, on to another comparison. Now we're on another Shure. This one's the Shure SM58, another famous $100 dynamic microphone. This mic is mainly used for live sound, but can be used any way you want, as most mics are. Okay, so this is that sound, the sound of the Shure SM58. Now let's go back to the K669D. And I'm back on the K669D. What did you think of the SM58 compared to this? Well, why not test it with the SM7B while I'm at it? Sure, let's do it. Okay, so now we're on the Shure SM7B. I took this off to be fair. Just to be a bit more fair. I could put it back on if you want. That's the sound of this. So you can get really close to it and get that good sound. But this is that sound, okay? The Shure SM7B, arguably the most famous dynamic microphone on Earth. This is the microphone that Michael Jackson used on his Thriller album. This mic goes for around $400 USD. And I had to crank up the gain to 7 here. So you're hearing a lot of the H5 preamp hiss once again. Okay, back to the K669D. And now I'm back on the K669D. Okay, let's test out one last dynamic mic. This time, let's test it against the ElectroVoice RE320. Let's do it. And the last comparison is the ElectroVoice RE320. I haven't pulled this mic out in about a year. This is a hugely underrated mic. It's about $300 USD, and it's similar to the RE20 in looks, but much brighter. Anyway, back to the K669D. And that's your fine K669D dynamic microphone. The thing about this microphone is its price. It's $37 US. Yeah, you heard correctly. $37. So what do I think of it? Well, it's well built. It feels good. It's small and unassuming. It's got some power behind it. You can definitely use this with any interface or recorder without the need of a cloud lifter or something. I've been using the Zoom H5 this entire time, and it's been fine. Actually, I've got the gain setting at around 5.5 on the H5. So, I mean, and the H5 does not have a lot of room and power. So, yeah, it's good. It's got a lot of power. But it's a bit of a bright mic in kind of not so appealing ways. Very bright. You could probably tell with the comparisons that it's got a lot of top end. Now, I'm not personally overly fond of bright mics, but that's just me. It really comes down to taste. Many people really love bright mics. It's all up to you. Like, you're listening to this right now, and you might be saying, actually, I think that kind of sounded better than the other mics. And that means you like bright mics. That's what you like. And you like the sound of this. And that's what it's all about. What you like, what works for you. So do I recommend the K669D? That depends. For $37, I haven't tried a better dynamic mic. Not that I've ever tried any $37 dynamic mic, so probably don't listen to me. But if you only have $40 to spend and you're looking for a dynamic mic, then I say go for it. That's what I say. But if you have a little more, if you have 3 times more money to spend, then I'd much rather go with a Shure SM57 at $100. Honestly, every mic I tested against this one sounded better to me. But that's to be expected. I don't have a $37 dynamic to test this up against, and so it's a bit unfair. But you also must consider that this isn't a USB mic. You're going to need an interface that has XLR inputs or a recorder that does, like the Zoom H5, and also an XLR cable, obviously. There's one thing that I've been noticing, and that is that you need to mount this better. I mean, it comes with this little screw-on mount thing that just mount, but there's no shock mount on this. And let me tell you, it will pick up... Listen to this. You're hearing that noise? That's just my legs moving on the desk. Ready for this one? Am I peeking out? No. Actually, I could probably use that for sound design. Like, wow. So there's that. You definitely need to... What's that click? $37 though, man. Just mount this in some kind of shock mount. You know what I mean? Other than that, I mean, what are you going to get? I mean, it's $37. So if you're looking for a wicked cheap dynamic mic to use on the go, without worry of damaging it, just, kind of throwing in a bag, set it up wherever you are, then this is a good solution. With a Zoom H5 or an H4n and a couple of mics and a couple of cables, you can throw them in a backpack and go anywhere and interview anyone without fear of damaged gear or anything. Just a great little plug-and-play setup. Just make sure, like I said, you get some kind of shock mount or something if you're going to be moving around, because... The ultimate test at the end of the day is what you think. If you think I sound good right now, then this is the mic for you, as I said before. And that'll just about do it for me here. Autobots, roll out. Bye now. End transmission. So yeah, okay. All right, it's good. Watch these other videos. Yes, please. Thank you. Yes, please. And also buy shirts and merch and all that stuff and be a member here. Press the join button. Thank you. Bye.